Welcome back, everyone. Nick and Lex here. Thank you so much for being here today to this new episode of Music with Nick. I'm so happy today. I mean, look at this here right to my right. My new guitar, Ibanez RG6. No, it's a 565 Genesis. So that's why I wanted to talk about this. This guitar is actually called Genesis. It's from the Genesis collection. You can look it up. I'm not kidding. Emerald green. Like I even changed my phone to emerald green. I'm so in love with this color. And I've been playing all day. But I've been playing, you know, days before, so my calluses are up to the task. And I'm this oh, right there. This amazing case came with it. I'm so stoked. I mean, such a good deal. The guitar was practically brand new. Like it was, I don't think they played it a lot. Same with Duncan pickups, humbuckers on the bridge. It's just fantastic. I don't know if you can see the green, like the dots, you know, the inlays. It's just a beautiful thing. I'll play it soon so you can hear it. It sounds amazing. The action is like there is literally no action. You can just like legato, you know, you don't even have to pick the strings. But yeah, I'm talking about Genesis. Today we're gonna do another marathon for K Brewski, and what a marathon we listened to last time. What an amazing idea. That Kevin had, you know, the missing Genesis album, you know, this is part 2, and we heard some amazing stuff by Steve Hackett, Tony Banks, and I threw some Dream Theater in at the end that sounded a little bit like, you know, old Peter Gabriel. I don't know, I haven't read all the, you know, I've been sick. So I haven't read, oh my God, brain fart. I haven't read all the comments. So, but yeah, today we're going to do number 2, numero dos, nummer zwei. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Of course, thank you so much, Kevin, for sponsoring now the second part of this amazing idea. And, you know, who knows, maybe we'll do part number 3, you know. I mean, the marathon got a lot of love, you know, from everyone. I think everybody thought that this was an amazing idea. Right now, we're sitting at a 2,827 views, and that's only in 8 days. That's not too bad for, you know, for a only one dislike, you know, literally only one dislike. It's the typical disliker person who dislikes every single video that I upload. So I think it's a success, you know, like this is like one of the most watched marathons. Also, of course, Joe Walsh got a lot of love, and Rory Gallagher and these, you know. But yeah, it sits at literally number 2 in the last 10 days, and we, you know, and the thing is, since these are so long, they don't get a lot of views because not a lot of people invest 59 minutes of their lives into, you know, a video. But that's why I don't really care how long it goes. That's why I'm talking a lot, you know. It doesn't really matter, because the people that will watch this, they don't care about how long it is. They want to know the information and all that good stuff. So let's start it off with Kevin, and he gave me some vital information here, which I'm gonna read to you guys. Let's see here. Well, thank you so much, because it says, I hope by now you're feeling better and on the road to recovery. This cold weather is a bummer for almost everyone this week. Yeah, I mean, we were literally below 7. Marty was not having it. We walked out and he was like looking at me like, what's going on, you know, like, and then he just did his business right there and then. Usually he has to take a walk, you know. So yeah, it was insane. So it says here, this is side 2 of the Missing Genesis album marathon. It says the first song unfortunately is not on Spotify. Not a problem. All right, we got it here. Thank you so much, Kevin. Thanks again for taking the time to do this reaction. I mean, likewise, thank you so much for doing everything, you know, for sending me all this info. And I know, I mean, everybody tells me, this is a hard thing to do. We're getting these marathons together. It takes time, it takes time off of your day. So, and I do respect, you guys taking all the time and doing all the research and, so first track, Moonshine, Mike Rutherford. So we hadn't done really Mike by himself. So this is the first track by himself as a Genesis member of the Missing Genesis album. This is from Mike Rutherford, 1980, Small Creeps Day. So this is the song that we're gonna take the audio from YouTube and we'll enjoy. Now Mike is on the bass. On all guitars, Roland guitar synth, we have Anthony Phillips, ex-Genesis founder and original Genesis guitarist. All keyboards, synths helped Mike with the compositions. Noel McCullough, Sniff in the Tears, I remember this band, and a singer who auditioned to replace Peter Gabriel as lead singer of Genesis. Lead vocals on this track, Simon Phillips. Who doesn't know Simon Phillips? Future Who plus Toto drummer on the drums. Morris Pertz in jazz fusion group band Brand X with Phil Collins. I've heard that. Amazing. All right, so we're gonna play that first. We're gonna go. Let's just go by, in that manner. So we have a formal introduction to the song, and then we listen to it. Because if I talk about everything, it's just gonna, I don't know. It takes away sometimes of the experience. So give me just 1 second, because since we're on YouTube, I don't want any interruptions, any commercials. I'm just gonna play this real quick, and that way we're sure to not get interrupted. All right, here we go. So I was gonna wear my Genesis t-shirt today, but unfortunately I had worn it before, so it's being washed. So yeah, there you go. So but the Beatles is also, I mean, come on, the Beatles are right there in the same, universe of goodness. There's these bands who are just in this stratosphere of, just amazing. So I think the Beatles are a good choice as well. Here we go with Moonshine, Mike Rutherford, 1980. I can't wait. Let's give it a like right here. And here we go. Enjoy. Nice. I'd like a...
And what I see is your world is mine. You there's so little in between. But listen, my love, we will never know which one of us has got it right.
This is so good. I mean, there's so many things that scream Genesis. It's almost like, you know, like it's literally like as if like Mike said, okay, I want to make this album, but I do need these elements. And who are the musicians who are the closest to the ones that I need for this, you know, which is Tony and, you know, Phil Collins and you know, and all the others, you know. I mean, he got Simon Phillips, which is an amazing choice, you know. The Noel McCullough, he is an amazing singer. I mean, I wouldn't have had any problem, I guess, if they would have recorded a couple of albums as Genesis with him. He's an amazing singer. He's like really bringing it. And then Anthony Phillips, I mean, he really has that Tony, that feel, you know, Tony Banks, you know, he knows what Tony would play, you know. And I love that Anthony Phillips is on this, you know, as an ex-founder of the band, you know. And then Mike playing the guitars and the synths, and it just sounds, it literally sounds like Genesis. It has those chord progressions. That bridge is just insane. I love it. And this is such a good idea. And for the viewers, and I kind of missed this, I skipped that this is, you know, this is a fantasy what if Genesis would have never recorded their own stuff, if they would have just stuck together, if Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford hadn't done these solo albums, you know, and Steve Hackett, you know. So let's keep going. This is fantastic. This is beautiful. This is something I can really deep dive into, you know. I don't want to, because I would rather do it on the channel, but I have to cope with the reality that we just can't react to everything, you know. Okay, let's keep going. Let's go back a little bit. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. Even a YouTuber that I watch, Sea of Tranquility, he reviewed this album a year ago. So I want to see what he has to say about this. All right.
And in the moments that I have, when peace is all around, I can see clearly now. And what I see, there's your world, there's mine. There's so little in between. But listen, my love, of us has got it right. Turning water into wine till there's nothing left to burn. Till there's nothing left to burn. Courage deserted me tonight.
Wow, so cool. Man, oh man, it's so wonderful, this band. And it's so funny because I just did a I did a marathon for Lee the other day, and it was all about, psychedelic prog, and at the end I did Yes. And there you can see that I love Yes to death, but it's not in, like, I don't love it as much as I love Genesis. And I even said instead of John Anderson, I said Ian Anderson, and people were just like, oh God, Nick. So yeah, I blame it on COVID, that I was still under, pretty under its spell. I was still, like, I don't know, a little out of it. But I don't know why I said Ian Anderson, but well, I love Ian Anderson, a Jethro Tull, but yeah, I incorporated it into Yes's lineup. I don't know why, but I got a couple of them wrong, So yeah, this was just fantastic. The drums, the beginning literally reminded me a little bit of Tom Sawyer, like, but without the, but that the way they just like slice into that, slice into your ears, with that drum. And great job. Just the singing was amazing. The whole song just felt very, very Genesis. I know how Kevin like picked this one because it's like it is one of those songs. It's like when you listen to something and you're like, wow, this really sounds like Iron Maiden, It's like, I don't know, or something, But I mean, because there are so many people involved that have that same taste in music, that's the way they write, and it's just beautiful, Okay, so next song. Okay, so this is actually, let's see. So this is actually by Genesis. This is called Inside Out. This is from the Archive 2, 1976 to 1992. Now let's see. There must be some information. Let's see here. Okay, from Genesis EP May 1977 called Spot the Pigeon, later released on Genesis Archive Volume 2. That's why it's on Spotify. This was primarily written by Steve Hackett during the Wind and Wuthering sessions, but did not make the album. That was the thing the last time. There was stuff on there. How could Genesis not take this? And was released on a 3-song EP. Genesis did perform the song live on the 1977 Wind and Wuthering tour. Steve felt strongly that the song should have been on the album. I'm sure he did, and that's how I'm gonna feel right now, I'm sure. Like last time. All right, okay. Members. We have here musicians. On the list is Genesis Steve Hackett, lead guitar, acoustic Tony Banks, all keyboards and synth, Mike Rutherford, bass guitar, acoustic guitar, Phil Collins, lead vocals and drums. All right, here we go. Can't wait. This is an actual Genesis song that never made it, but here we go.
Seems they're letting him out next year. He's behaving himself, I hear. Governor Conway says it will be fine, just as long as he can toe the line. It's the same old story, but it says here, Mom, you're not to worry, 'cause some you lose and some you lose. At the party he was on his own. All he did was say he'd take her home, but it seems they didn't go straight there, 'cause on the porch she told him, put your hand here. Yes, it's that same old story. They told her mom she's not to worry, if what she says is so. We'll never let you know. Never a word could be heard, not even the sound of a bird singing it over again, telling a different story, never the same as before. See the summer going out by the door, and now that you've been to those eyes, get another disguise.
Wow.
It's 20 years now since our kid came free. Oh, I remember August 53, but it wasn't quite like
Oh my god. This was so good. I mean, I'm so happy I have this channel. I'm so blessed. I don't know if other people even react to stuff like that. It's um that's why we don't want to have any restrictions to what and how long, and because then you're limited, you can't. This was so good. I loved the whole thing. Was just so good, starting with the acoustic guitar. Beautiful, just beautiful. The voices they use, they just know. I did want to pause it, but I was like, I don't know, if I pause it, I'm gonna break the whole thing apart, because then I just don't stop talking. But now, excuse me, now I, of course, I don't really remember everything. I would love to listen to it again and break it down. But I love the first part that was more, Phil and the guitars, like Steve working it up, beautifully. The chords there, the chord progressions. It's always so beautiful. What I think about Genesis, that I think like even more than like my favorite, like progressive, if you can call it, Pink Floyd, is, I know it's more in a psychedelic realm, or rock, like rock opera. I mean, they started out very, very psychedelic, and then it got a little bit more proggy. I think the proggiest was Animals, right? And then like The Wall, it's more like a concept album. It's not really progressive rock like this, which is so melodic, and there's all these movements. And excuse me. Okay, now it's gone. There's all these like movements and these classical passages, and that doesn't occur with like other bands, that I thought were progressive rock. No, this is, I think Genesis has influenced like pretty much everyone, because now every time I listen to IQ, or I listen to Marillion, or I listen to Magellan, or anything that's like neo prog, it all sounds like Genesis. I can't unhear them, I can't unhear them now. They I think they have inspired an entire generation of musicians. And yeah, there's nothing like Genesis, I'm sorry. It's like because now that we've been going through this, and I'm looking here, at the camera, and I see, Kansas, Supertramp, and and Rush, and I'm sure they all have been like kind of touched by Genesis a little bit. I'm sure there were, of course, I think Rush is very original and very unique, but some things, maybe in their 80s days, sound maybe a little bit like Genesis, I mean, they're all top tier. They're all uncomparable in the end, like Emerson, Lake and Palmer there, Alan Holdsworth, UK. It's so, I get a lot of compliments that have Jean-Luc Ponty in there, but why wouldn't I? I mean, he's literally one of the first musicians that I started to listen to when I got into this whole thing. And people are like, I can't believe you have Jean-Luc Ponty in the background. I'm like, yeah, of course I do. But this was great. I mean, and I loved even when Tony was doing this melody, I can't really recall it right now. I love that he stayed in his, the chord progression, but the chords were changing underneath. And that's what makes stuff so special, because yes, there's a chord progression to that lick, that Tony's playing, but if you change the chords underneath, it moves it in such different directions, and that's when it gets so magical. This whole thing, the drumming was off the charts, the bass, the guitar playing, everything was just so rich and so rehearsed and so tight. What I love about Genesis is that they're tight. They don't sound sloppy. In the studio, it sounds tight. And sometimes when I hear stuff from the 70s, whether it may be prog or psychedelic music, it's sloppy, and I don't like that. I just don't enjoy it as much. Like, I just think, okay, maybe they were rushing it, they're rushing They didn't have the time, but you can really hear it. You can really hear it, and you don't hear that with Genesis. It sounds rehearsed to the max, and that's what other bands do, like Dream Theater. They record, it sounds tight, and when they play live, it sounds exactly the same. That's what I just expect, that kind of like musicianship, from professionals. These people, that's what they do for a living, and you should sound like tight. Man, this was a great song. Thank you so much, Kevin. I sent it to Alexia already. She's gonna listen to it, I'm sure, right when she comes back. Okay, so next song, this is The Waters of Lethe. I think Lethe, or Lethe, I think it's Lethe, by Tony Banks from the album A Curious Feeling. That's the one that I did last time. Amazing album, October 1979. Tony Banks, all synths, keyboards, guitars, bass. Chester Thompson, just like the last part number 1, drums and percussions. Let's go. I love Tony Banks. He's literally like, he would be the main inspiration. I have a keyboard right there. Very good keyboard, by the way. It's not like a Casio or something. This is a real professional, like this long, it has all the octaves. If I would ever start to play piano or keyboards, this would be because of him. Not even, Emerson, Lake and Palmer can make me, a keyboard player, or Jordan Rudess, or, like it would be Tony Banks. And the first thing I would learn, and of course this would take me, I would have to go through months and months of studying to get to that point, or maybe years, to play For the Fifth. That intro, that whole intro, that would be that's where I want to get to, and then we'll see, Okay, so here we go with The Water of Lethe. I think Lethe. If it's Lethe, please leave it in the comments. All right, here we go. This is like bringing me to tears. This it reminds me a lot of Vangelis, the genius, you know, that Vangelis had. Literally, like I could envision like the streets of LA in 2019 in that dystopian future that, you know, Philip K. Dick, you know, transported us into in Blade Runner. Like, and the music, Vangelis was perfect for it because he's so like dramatic, and he's such a different musician because he doesn't read music, he doesn't write music, he just plays out of like feeling, you know. He looks at something and comes up with, and I saw this amazing documentary just a couple of days ago, and I didn't even know. I thought like I thought he was like classically trained, but he had all these people, you know, writing his music for him, like, you know, like listening to it and then like, oh my god, that's what you're doing, like, do you even know what you're doing? He's like, no, I just play, you know. That's that I this is just comes out. This is like that's when you're just a genius, you know. You don't need any formal training, it's just in you. And that's what I could hear right now with Tony Banks, like this majestic feeling, you know, of like this. And of course, since it's synth, I related to, you know, a little bit of Future, you know, when back in the 80s or 70s and 80s, everything futuristic had this futuristic sound, like as you know, like Giorgio Moroder described it, the sound of the future. It's like a synthesizer, you know. So yeah, I don't know if it's a little bit too loud, you know. Like I got some comments because right now it was just peaking, you know. I have like this graphic, and where I see when music gets yellow, it's a little bit too loud, and then it gets red, and it's just like, I don't know if it's distorting. If that's happening, I'm really sorry, but I think the volume is pretty good. But you let me know if it was too loud. I'm gonna like lower it. This was just amazing. Let's continue. But I literally I was breaking down in the tears, and that doesn't happen too often anymore. It just happens with specific stuff, you know. And since I've been listening to more music that's more, you know, radio friendly and stuff like that, it doesn't happen. It happens with stuff that really gets to me, like this. I mean, it just sounded like such, I don't know. It's like it builds and builds and builds, and these layers of music and these chords, and they all are perfect. You know, it's amazing. Okay, so let's go back and to Tony here. Wonderful. so so underrated. It's such a crime. Like the monthly listeners, but so many people on this earth, and he only has under 25,000 monthly listeners. 25,000 people who are interested in this. I can't believe it, you know. Yeah. He would have been an amazing choice as well, you know, for the second Blade Runner. I know, of course, they're going to go with Hans Zimmer because he already has the name, you know. He is an amazing composer. He does all sorts of like crazy stuff. And I think it was a great choice. You know, if you listen to the Blade Runner, the second Blade Runner soundtrack, it's just mind boggling. But I think I don't know. I think Tony Banks, he has some movies under his belt. I think wasn't this for a movie. I mean, this is amazing music, you know. I mean, Giorgio Moroder, also Apocalypse Now. What was it? Midnight Express. There's so many good movies. The Neverending Story that he provided music to. Just like to mention Giorgio Moroder because my dad was or is good friends with him because he lived in Munich and they were at Music Land, you know. I think it was called Music Land. Yeah, and I would always hear a little bit of stories. Giorgio Moroder this, Donna Summer that. So Giorgio Moroder for me is every time I see him in a movie, I'm like, oh my God, Giorgio Moroder, you know. But yeah, let's see Tony Banks movies. Just real quick. No. Wait. Is this Tony Banks? Our Tony Banks or some other? Well, American Psycho. That's one of my favorite movies. I know it's a weird movie, but it's such a good movie. It's such a good acting by Christian Bale. So he did the music. I'm gonna tell Alexa she's gonna lose her. She loves that movie too. It's just so good. No, Tony Banks has written some. Okay. Okay, there's all his Genesis stuff, but as movies, it says Palm Springs soundtrack. I Now Pronounce You Chuck and Larry, Sing Street, and American Psycho. American Psycho has I did not know, you know, that it was him. Okay, so let me just take a little break real quick. I need to get some water. I'll be right back with you guys. All right, we'll continue with the amazing Steve Hackett. And let's go over the notes by Kevin. Now, this is from 1979, Spectral Mornings. This is from the same album as Part 1. Steve Hackett. This is the title track. Originally intended to have vocals, but his singer Pete Hicks told Hackett to keep it as an instrumental because it sounded so good. That's awesome. We have Hackett on electric and acoustic guitar synth. Dick Cadbury on bass guitar, Nick Magnus on keyboards, and the Mini Moog, Moog, I think it's Moog, and John Shearer on drums. And I'll add a bonus track, of course, because we do need something, you know, to save, just in case, you know, if it gets blocked. And I saw Kevin and BMAC, you know, saying, hey, you know, like, you want to keep this on the down low? Trust me. If you haven't reached like 50 million subs, nobody checks your comment section. Trust me. Like, not even. I know guys that have 4 million subscribers, friends of mine, and they just literally talk smack about YouTube, you know, about almost about their employer. Because, you know, they do it differently. They make only videos that are monetized, and that's what they make their money of, with videos, you know. And this is a little bit of a different concept here, you know. Okay, so let's go with Steve Hackett. And then I just looked for a song while I was on my little break. I'm gonna do Dream Theater again, and I didn't want to do like a metal song because we're not listening to metal, we're listening to progressive rock, and this is still in the realm of progressive rock when Dream Theater wasn't as heavy as they're now. They got kind of like more heavier and heavier throughout the years, and this song is just like, it's proggy, it has a nice flow, you know. It reminded me, it was just like clicking through the songs. I've heard them all before, so I was like, this is a good song, you know. This sounds like progressive rock. Could be out of the 70s or 80s, you know. Okay, but we're gonna go first with Steve Hackett, Spectral Mornings. Here we go. All right. Beautiful. Wow, amazing. Like it reminded me even of my favorite guitar player, Alan Holdsworth, when he was doing those volume swells, those chords. I bought a special Yamaha pedal, it like boosts out like 8 delays at the same time. So if you use the volume pedal, you can like, and I think that's what he was doing. But I also loved all the emotion he put into those bends, those like almost like a whale, singing to you. Oh man, what a great song! I just sent it to Alexia. The other day, she's like, "Oh my god!" I played her the song that I reacted to on the first of Kevin's marathons, and she's like, "Okay, let's buy tickets right now. We have to see him live." And we looked, and unfortunately, he literally is gonna just like drive by. I think it's too cold for him. I don't know, maybe because he's gonna be in Florida 3 days, in Orlando. We used to live 25 minutes away from Orlando. So no, wait, Pompano Beach, Cape Coral, and then he goes to Memphis. So, and then the only place where we could see him would be, I guess, in Kansas City. That would be the closest, and that's, I think, around 4 hours away. So yeah, Dallas, Austin, Houston, Tucson, Phoenix, Guadalajara. We lived in Guadalajara. Mexico City, and then he goes to Germany, Hamburg, Leipzig, Dresden, Nuremberg. Let's see if he goes to Munich. No, Munich. York, then he goes to England, and in Milano. That's where you're gonna, like, he's gonna finish his tour November 5th. Yeah, man, I'm so sad that he's not gonna be in Denver, but you can't have everything. Next time. Yeah, I don't know if I mean we've flown to see Steely Dan, to a different state, but also it just aligned everything. We're gonna see friends, and so we made the whole package thing out of it, when we saw Steely Dan. But yeah, let's see what happens. But it would be so good to see him. And I saw many people react. A lot of people were like, leaving Genesis was good for him. He got his own voice. I don't know, I can't say, I haven't heard enough Genesis with and without him to say anything about that matter. And I just know that he's amazing in Genesis and out of Genesis. That's all I know. That he's an amazing musician, and I would die if I had someone like that in my band and leave. Yeah, that would not be good. Okay, so this is the ending. This is the end, the official end of Kevin's marathon. Let me just double check. This time it was just 4 songs because there were more on the longer side. Is that the case here? Let's see. So song number 1, that's the YouTube song. Song number 2, here's the list. From 2 to 4. Okay, yeah, that's only 4 songs. All right. Okay, but as you guys know me, we're gonna play some extra play some extra music here for you guys. Dream Theater got a lot of love. And I love that even Kevin said, yes, it sounded a little bit like Peter Gabriel, the intro from that particular song that I mentioned. So this is Dream Theater. This is from the album Awake, 1994, a long time ago. And Lifting Shadows of a Dream. It just like, I went with this one because I didn't want any like, that kind of, I wanted to keep it proggy, but prog rock, not get too heavy. So here we go. Enjoy. I hope you like this. This is my addition to the this is not the Genesis realm anymore. This is just something I wanted to add for safety. Here you go. This brings me back.
seems alone, silent. Thoughts remain without an answer. Afraid and uninvited, he slowly drifts away. Moved by desire and fear, breaking delicate wings, lifting shadows off a dream once broken. She can turn a drop of water into an ocean.
This is why I fell in love with Dream Theater. Like, this is their third album. Yes, their third album. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my lord, this is so good. It reminds me of Pink Floyd a little bit, not too much, but I love the drumming here, the chords. This is still Kevin Moore on the keyboards, before Derek Sheridan and Jordan Rudess. But I love John Petrucci, the delay, the slap back of the dun da da little dun da da little of the chords he's playing. The drumming is top notch. Mike Portnoy is coming back to Dream Theater on their next album. James LaBrie is still, like, his voice is still okay. I think this is where he kind of had an accident, messed up his vocal cords because of some food poisoning, because of all the, you know, he had to go, like, he had to vomit so much that he literally burned his vocal cords. So bad. But yeah, this is like one of those songs that just, like, I think made me see, like, this is different rock. This is, like, you know, a little bit more thought out, you know, than like Metallica or whatever, you know. Perfect, because there's no, there's no shredding on here. Don't get me wrong, I love shredding. I love especially John Petrucci's guitar solos. They always have some nice resolution, even though if they're super fast or lightning fast, but they have some kind of like redeeming factor. They always lead to something. It's all very dramatic, because I've learned that when you use speed in your playing, it's to get from point A to point B in a dramatic way. But if you just play fast, then it's kind of like senseless. And that's what I love about Alan Holdsworth. And a lot of people are like, oh, he's just wanking around, he's just playing. But it's not. You really have to listen to him. And he always plays very, very slow lines and goes into fast lines because he's talking. And there's some players who just play fast, and those, I used to like those when I was younger, but now I kind of like, it's like, okay, like what is even happening? It's just like in the display. It sounds like exercises, but you can use speed to really be, dramatic, and yeah, it just works. But this was a nice. I love how they were like harmonizing the drummer and the vocalist there, James Labrie and Mike Portnoy. Really cool. And the solo, like, I was like, I hope he doesn't go into hyperspeed, but no, he just kept it, very nice solo, very slow. And Kevin Moore here was very nice display of, his more like Kevin Moore. This was unfortunately his last album with Dream Theater. He then left the band and did other things, also very interesting, with the guitar player from Megadeth, OST, I think they're called, OTS. But yeah, I think he just didn't feel at home at Dream Theater. But they've been with the same keyboard player now for the last 20 years, Jordan Rudess, and he's just a great fit, I think. And Derek Sheridan was also amazing, and he is, I think, I'm happy that he left to do his own stuff, because he has worked with Al Di Meola and Steve Stevens and Alan Holdsworth and Zach Wilde and Toto's guitar player, and just about everyone that's big in the business, guitar player, bass player, drummers, everything. So yeah, I think that was actually a very good idea to leave Dream Theater. But yeah, I hope you did enjoy. Thank you again, Kevin. This was I think I even like this one more, but I do have to listen to the first side again. It's almost like I almost feel like, buying a burner. I don't have a CD burner anymore. I don't have the CDs. Like, there's no way to burn this, but I'm definitely going to save these under like, a what if, scenario, and just listen to them like in this order. It's really, really cool how you put them together, the first part and the second part. And I mean, the comment section, everybody is, pretty much agreeing with me here, that this is a good idea. Some people, they're set in their ways and they're like, no, but, comments are going to be comments. There's always going to be some negative comments or some positive. That's just how the way the world works, But I think this was an amazing marathon, just as good as the first one. Like I said, if not better. There was just some parts that just blew my socks away, even if stuff brings me to tears, then for me, it's like, that's what I need, So we just did a video, Alexia and I, oh my God, we were just like bawling, and it hasn't happened in a long time. We're going to upload that soon. I'm just going to say Richard Bona. I know a lot of people know who I'm talking about. If you don't know, you'll see. But this was great. Thank you again, Kevin. This was amazing. Thanks everybody for watching, for subscribing, for liking the videos, for commenting on the videos. You really help. And if you really like the channel, please do subscribe, because our subscription base is just not real. I check almost every day, and it's like 90% of people that watch the channel, actively watch it, haven't subscribed. So I don't know why. I do get it. I'm not the subscriber type. I don't subscribe to everything. But if I watch it like maybe like, every time, like every day once, then I subscribe, and I can turn off the bell, I don't like to get notifications on my phone either. So, but yeah, just a, just something to think about. Again, thanks everyone for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.